Hi, Right Riders, Cruz here. Thank you so much for joining me today. In this video, we will be focused on organizing our writing for an advantages and disadvantages essay. So if this is something that interests you, please stay tuned. All right, Right Riders, let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see, I have a Google Doc here already created, and I've called it advantages and disadvantages. And now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to insert a table. And so I can begin to organize my writing so that it makes more sense basically for our essay. And we're not to the essay yet. First, we're just organizing it. And so I'm going to do a 2x1 table. And I'm going to go ahead and again, title it here Advantages and Disadvantages. And so I'm organizing my writing first before I actually begin the essay. And this is a great way to set yourself up for success because if you're taking the time to organize your writing, you're going to be able to write your essay a lot faster. Again, I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to take the time to organize before you just dive into your writing. So I've created a 2x1 table, and if I hit my tab key, it essentially opens up more boxes. Now, if you've heard your teacher say something like, maybe creating a T-chart, essentially this is what this is. This is a T-chart. It's just a T-chart in box form. So with that mentioned, right writers, let's go ahead and again, create a few more boxes here. So I'm just hitting my tab key so that I can, again, create more boxes. I'm going to move this out of the way here. And as I create more boxes, I do want to make sure that I think about a topic. So I decided to go with soda, or what could be called soda pop. Some people call it pop. Some people call it sugar water. So depending on what you call it, it's essentially carbonated beverage. And in this case, I'm not talking about club soda. So I'm talking about sodas like Canada Dry. I'm talking about, Mountain Dew. I'm talking about Coca-Cola. I'm talking about Pepsi. I'm talking about Sunkist. I'm talking about Fanta. I'm talking about root beer. I'm talking about Sprite. I'm talking about 7 Up. These are the types of sodas that I'm talking about when I'm talking about the topic of soda. And I've got to make sure that I put in, let's see, I'm also talking about, don't forget about Crush. So Crush, even thinking about, Diet Cokes, etc. But essentially, this is sort of what I'm talking about as my discussion is soda pop, sugar water. You could call it the carbonated beverages. And this is essentially my topic. And what I'm not talking about is club soda. So I will specify not club soda. And I need to specify that with you all because, again, when we start to look at the advantages and disadvantages, you need to know that, again, this is not what I'm talking about. When we're talking about advantages and disadvantages, we may want to also add some synonyms. So if I'm looking for synonyms for advantages, what I'm looking at are the pros. A lot of times people also call them pluses. They could be considered the benefits, and you could call them the positives, and you can also call it the good. So when we think about disadvantages, we can talk about cons. We can talk about minuses, the minuses of something. We can talk about the negatives. We can talk about what's bad about something. Other ways to call it as well is we can call it also the drawbacks. So pros, cons, pluses, benefits. I'm going to go ahead and put drawbacks, and then negatives and bad. So, depending on how you want to describe something, again, these are synonyms for advantages and synonyms for disadvantages. I want to use more advanced language. So, you want to stay away from words like good and bad because they're not really high level vocabulary words. So again, pluses and minuses also sounds low level. They would not what I would call expensive language. So again, I might go ahead and do what's called Alt Shift 5 and take these words away because these are the words we want to stay away from in our writing. We want better language. So, again, pros and cons, benefits, drawbacks, positives, negatives, advantages, disadvantages. So, thinking about this, when we're thinking about our topic of, soda, and that being our main topic, what would we want to consider as far as the advantages of soda? So, when we're talking about, our topic, we can go back and forth, or we can just focus on one side, the left side first, and then think about all the advantages of our topic. And so that may be a good place to start. Some ideas that we might have is basically you have variety. So when you drink soda, there's a variety of options for you for soda drinking. Again, you can see all the different flavors that I mentioned earlier in the video. So one benefit is variety. Another benefit or advantage of soda is, again, variety of flavors. They have, soda has caffeine. That's could be considered a benefit. You can mix it with other beverages or flavors. You can drink soda, warm or cold. They're non alcoholic, they're fizzy. Again, thinking about all the positives, all the benefits, all the pros, looking at it from different points of view. So we have a variety of flavors, they have caffeine. It can be mixed with other beverages or flavors. And I know they have obviously caffeine free sodas. So maybe I can put caffeine and can even can be caffeine free because not all soda does have caffeine. They have fizz or fizzy or carbonation. You can do with soda you can do fun experiments with soda. They're definitely a great alternative to milk or water. Soda can make you feel full when you're drinking it. And so if you are hungry and you want to feel full, you can drink a soda. I mean, that's definitely one that, again, that you can use soda for to make you feel full. And so those are some advantages that I can think of sort of at the top of my head here. I mean, if you wanted to get silly and look at it as a positive or negative, it can help you burp. So it can help you burp or belch. So, and that could maybe go on both sides, on both positives and negatives. So again, just trying to have fun with it. Going over again the advantages of soda. You have a variety of flavors. They can be caffeine or caffeine free, can be mixed with other beverages or flavors, can be enjoyed warm or cold. They're considered, non-alcoholic. They're fizzy or have carbonation. You can do fun experiments with sodas. They're an alternative to milk or water. It can make you feel full, and you can use it to burp or belch with. So again, I think that can be a positive or a negative disadvantage. And so we'll maybe put that also on the other side. So let's think of disadvantages of soda. So one of disadvantages is, perhaps you've heard this from your parents, is that it does have, certain types of soda have high sugar content. You're essentially drinking calories. Whether we realize it or not, we are drinking calories. And if we're drinking calories, it can, drinking a lot of soda can obviously cause you to gain weight. It's not exactly positive for our teeth, so can result in teeth decay. And I'm talking about, prolonged use, but, teeth decay or rot. And it's partly due to obviously all the sugar and, chemicals in it. And that, again, it does contain, it's not exactly natural. So that's definitely not natural as far as not a natural beverage. It's not like water. We have, let's see, it's technically, it does not hydrate you. So even though you think you're hydrating yourself, you're really not hydrating yourself when you drink soda. It can be expensive or pricey depending on where you live. I can put, costly. So if you're thinking about, 2 liters and cans of soda, it definitely creates waste. Now you could argue, well, that's recyclable, but again, if we have to recycle it, then why not just not create it in the first place? It can basically, and putting this down here as a negative, it makes you burp or belch. A false sense of being full. And again, I'm just sort of putting that across from this one because it sort of makes sense in that it could go either way. And I like that it sort of crossed both with the burping and the belching. And I think it's important to bring these up because, again, right riders, it's important to understand that sometimes advantages can fall into both categories. And so I like that these two can fall in both advantage or disadvantage, and we can use these to our benefit later when we write our essay. So essentially, and I'm going to go ahead and minimize this, right, riders, so we can start to see how creating a chart and looking at the advantages and disadvantages of something can definitely help you as far as, before we begin writing anything. And you can really begin to see, wow, I've got a lot of information here that I can use to write an essay. Not only can I write a paragraph, but I can definitely make an essay out of this. Well, how do you do it? Well, take a look. I mean, look at how much information we have here. So if I even minimize this to 16 and I look at all of this information, for my advantages, I've got variety of flavors when it comes to soda. I've got caffeine or caffeine free, can be mixed with other beverages or flavors, can be enjoyed warm or cold. It's a non-alcoholic beverage. It has fizziness or carbonation. You can do fun experiments with soda. It's a great alternative to milk or water. It can make you feel full. And a positive can be, it can help you burp or belch. A disadvantage, it has high sugar content. Another disadvantage or a con or a drawback or a negative, you're essentially drinking calories without realizing it. It can make you gain weight. You can have teeth decay or tooth decay or rot. So teeth decay sounds weird, so maybe I'll put tooth decay, or it can make your teeth rot, depending on the soda. It's not a natural beverage. It does not hydrate you. It's expensive or costly. It creates waste. You have a false sense of feeling full, and another drawback or negative is that it makes you burp and belch. And so, right, writers, now we have a ton of information, and we can use this to create paragraphs and to create an essay. And that's what we will be doing, right, writers, in our next video. So stay tuned next week where we will use this T-chart to create not only paragraphs, but to create an essay. Thank you so much for joining me, right, writers. I hope this video ensures your success in writing. Take care, right, writers. Bye-bye.